Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jack and welcome to SAKHISIZWE AGM and Trust Launch. Would really like to apologize for having started late. Obviously, we understand the logistics. It's a Saturday. You guys slept late and we were just giving you that leeway, hey, so that everybody's here, so that you don't miss out on any of the actions. So some people are still coming through, but obviously some of the people are going to be on our social media platform, on the live stream. So we just had a bit of a technical delay, but right now we are good to go. So welcome. All right, without any further ado, I would like to call Gertrude from SAKHISIZWE to just give opening remarks so that she can just set the tone and take us in a direction where this whole event is actually going. Thank you. Let's just give her a round of applause as she comes through.
Good morning. Sanbonani. Is everybody good? Are we excited about what's about to happen? Okay, let me take this off. Welcome again. We apologize for the delay, but I hope everybody is comfortable and you're excited, you are ready about what we're just gonna, we're just celebrating today. It's our first AGM. So yeah, guys, that's just the biggest milestone. We are now over a year. Can you just... Even with that, I think most of you in the house today, you members, so you know how much we have achieved in just that year. I mean, we're no longer just crawling now, we are literally running. We've raised over 2 point how much million? Guys, are you listening to the zeros? I feel like maybe some people are not excited about that. So, and we've invested in a lot of properties and yeah. So, welcome again. Today we're going to launch our trust, the biggest milestone ever. We actually even have funds already. A lot of people have been asking us, so when we start owning, when are we going to start owning? Slee's going to go in depth with that. But basically, yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy everybody could make it today. It's a Saturday. I mean, we all have errands to run. But then, yeah, again, thank you so much. And yeah, we're ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Gertrude. So when I had a chat with Lindile to come and help facilitate this, the first thing when I came in, I thought I'd find all these bags of mayonnaise, vinegar, and I know it's a property thing. I thought it was a Stokvel thing. And now I see this as a Stokvel that went to a private school, hey? See, everything looks proper. Everything looks decent. I'm like, hey, we've got shampoo there. I'm like, can I just have now just to get me cracking, you know? Thank you, Gertrude, for that. Okay, so now we're going to call on to the stage Person Make. So Person Make is the one person, guys, he really helped a lot of women out there. People who know traditional Stokvel would not run about this time. Os Gertrude would have disappeared with people's money. Because now we're going to send it to the bank to go collect the money, and there's going to be a story about the money has turned into papers. I got mugged, you know what, and they scratched themselves with a needle or two. So it's companies like Persons that actually now are actually revolutionizing this Stokvel business. So just a little bit about him. He's a sales and support manager at Stokvel. So that's the platform that SAKHISIZWE uses to manage its funds and also the contributions per month. It's a fintech solution that is aimed to revolutionize a 19th century practice into modern and tech service sector that allows more than 8.5 million South Africans to participate in the economy of the country. Person believes, we need to formalize this. We don't need to keep the money under the bed. That was popular in the 90s and it's not making a comeback. So Person believes that the dream is free, but the journey is not. At some point, one has to make a transition from a believer of the dream to being the buyer of the dream. Ladies and gentlemen, Person Make.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to Slindile as well, and Slindile's team. You know, it's amazing to to wake up in the morning and do what we do and see these things happen in terms of the success Slindile's team has done. So what we do at Stokvel is make sure that, the transparency, the credibility that you would need, perhaps maybe a more, that would touch home an example of maybe perhaps when we were growing up as, our mothers, being in a Stokvel, we were their projects. Fast forward, you still see there's no movement. And we went back to the drawing board to say, how do we, make this thing that my mother, somebody's mother, has been crying over years, this mama mang mang barilega chelta, this and that. So we went back to the drawing board to say, how do we make it transparent? How do we make it that you would be able to now see the members' contribution, your payments, to bring about transparency, credibility, and trust among ourselves. At Stokvel, we believe that Stokvels are the future vehicles to liberate poverty, bring about job creation. And that is this is the reason why we wake up in the morning and still, do the dev work, whether it's either the IT department, the marketing department, the sales department, to make sure that, Slindile or any other Stokvel, whether it's in a grocery Stokvel, burial, or property, or farming as well. That is why we wake up in the morning and wake up and to make sure that, those Stokvels out there, they move, they achieve their goals, their visions. At the end of the day, the leadership that Slindile and the team have done, it's so amazing to bring about change in our country. Thank you so much.
Okay, so because I'm a good person, and you guys have been waiting for so long, it's just bad. I'm just gonna bring in the fun a little bit, just to make sure that everybody's awake and talk to the person next to you. I know, guys, we're still surviving COVID, but hey, we can still talk to each other. We just can't hug each other, but I've seen, you probably don't even know the person next to you. Maybe let's just take this opportunity to know the person that you're sitting next to, and so that we can just get a quiz going, so that you can actually, it's not a high five anymore, what is a shoulder bump? Shoulder bump somebody that, yeah, I killed it. But yeah, are you ready, Steve? With quiz prizes. All right, cool. So you do know the person next to you, because maybe they might help you with the answer. Yeah? Okay, thank you. You see now everybody's excited, everybody's feeling warm. Maybe you can share the prizes. I don't know, you might have just made your best friend here. All right, cool. So we just want to know that you guys are subscribing to this Stokvel, but what is it that you know about it? Are you tracking the figures? Are you tracking the progress? Where are we going? Do you understand the expansion plan? Or what? As long as I get my return, you know what? Don't bother me. Don't talk to me. Give me the money. Pay me the money. All right, cool. I've got short questions. I'm sure everybody's going to get them. And please, guys, be my ravens. Be Vaker here. And tell me who raised their hands first. Okay, so the first one. What is the smallest amount we have raised in a single month? Okay. We've got an eager beaver, but not so eager anymore. Chance, take a chance. Nah, you've overshot the mark. Thanks. My lady at the back? 183. Let's try the... Okay, I'll give it to you. So, So the answer is 121.062. So yeah, that's a lot of money. You guys are serious, eh? Okay. The second one. Maybe this side is going to come alive. No pressure, guys, no pressure. You can quickly take out your phone and Google this stuff, I'm sure. What is the highest amount we have raised in a single month? The highest. Okay, Mr. Ooh, okay.
It's 660,000.
All right.
550,000.
Okay, is that it?
580,000.
Okay, I'll take the gent at the back.
625.
All right. Okay.
It's poison.
That's it. Thank you, everyone, for your enthusiasm. Okay, no, I'm not going to look on my right anymore. I think we need to balance the scale. All right. Number 4, in which suburb did we have our very first info session where the Stokvel was launched? In which suburb did we have our very first info session where the Stokvel was launched? Yes? You can. Nah, that's on the other side. Try the other side of the N3. Yes? Sorry? Yes, the lady. Sentin, close by, but yeah, you're in the running. No, I said the other side of the N3. All right, I'll give it to the lady. Sentin is closer to Randburg. So Randburg. Guys, I'm a good guy. Don't be fooled by my dark complexion. I'm very good. Dark is not always bad. Okay, so whatever comes closest to the answer, yeah, I'll relent. Okay, cool. The last one. Since everybody is from this province, well, it might be, yeah, challenging. Can you name the streets of the 2 properties we have invested in Belleville, Cape Town? I know this one is going to be a kicker. You can take out your phones. Whoever gets the answer first probably will take the last prize. So it's which streets, can you name the streets of the 2 properties we've invested in Belleville, Cape Town? Don't worry, I have time, I'll wait. I knew it was going to be a kicker. The ones? Yeah, I was about to say, okay, since this class is a tough crowd, the one street, the intersection is Iona Street, and the other one that intersects it is a road of some sort. Guys, I've just given you the entire answer. You just need to give me the name. Work with me here. It's Iona Street and road. You know when you bring 2 things together, 2 chains together? Starts with an L. Who said that? Who said that? It is you. Finally. Let's give him a round of applause. Ah, shame, man. You've been trying so hard. Thank you, guys. We're just trying to break the ice with a quiz, but just also to get you engaged on what you have subscribed for, and also trying to gain interest in the things that are happening. I know obviously it's an investment, but you kind of need to know where your money is going. And sometimes when you go to Table Mountain and you pass that street, it's like, yeah, I built that. You know what I mean? Not necessarily you buying 24 mayonnaise and beetroot. What are you going to do with those, man? You know? Yeah. All right, we're moving right along. Now we're going to call the lady of the house, Mrs. Slindile Lisiani. So I've known Slindile as an ex-colleague of mine, but even then, when we were still working together, I knew she didn't belong there. I knew her outlook on life was way bigger than where we were at that point in time. We worked together in 2 companies, and she always said, guys, we need to do something. You know, she had this burning desire that this can't work for us. We need multiple streams of income. We need to do something. Tomorrow here, we're sitting here, we're eating fat cooks, and they say, you know what? At the end of the month, you are gone. There's nothing you can do. You're not going to fall back on anything. So Slindile is a wife, she's a mom, entrepreneur, property investor, chairperson of this marvelous Stokvel. And some of the interesting things you don't know about her, she's Property Investor of the Year award winner. We saw all about it on Facebook. Yeah. And she's been featured on multiple media platforms such as SABC 1, ENCA 702, Power FM, Massive Radio, IOL, Stokvel Talk, and has been a guest on several episodes of the Private Property Podcast. She's also a property coach, a mentor to Stokvel groups, and an individual. She's a qualified accountant, she's an IT professional, she's an overall narcissist. You know, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Slindile Lisiane.
Good morning, everyone. And how's everyone feeling? The day is finally here. Thank you so much, Jack, for the wonderful introduction. I'm just laughing when you're talking about this thing. So myself and Jack worked in the UK. So when we were still working in the UK together, so we did a lot of surviving outside of the country together. And we also worked together at Standard Bank. So really, you know, he's quite a good friend of mine. And we talk a lot about financial stuff. And at some point, we chopped up our credit cards together. And we're protesting against the system. And then we each quietly went and got new credit cards and didn't tell each other. So yeah, guys, just a bit about what today is about, really. It's about the journey that we've traveled. And it's been a journey that has been uncertain, nerve-wracking, I don't know, you name it, it has happened. And it started, you know, like plus minus a year ago. It was winter in July last year when we had that first info session in Johannesburg. It was myself and Taurai Jack from M5. And we were really coming up with this way of doing Stokvels that had never been done before, what people knew about Stokvels, what people knew about property investing. It was something that had not been done before. So we were going into totally uncharted waters. I was shaking much like I'm shaking now. I've done these info sessions before, but I don't know, there's something about today that's just making me shake. So I think it's when you're on the cusp of something that you've never been done before. You can't do something you've never done before and just be like, I got this, you know? So you can't get too confident because there's always going to be room for learning and all of those things. There's going to be new challenges. I think where we are as a Stokvel, we've sort of figured it out now. We've got it. That's why in other info sessions we just come and rock it. Even get through today, I could see her, she was tatazeling, you know? And normally, you know, she's got this. So we're all pretty nervous because, you know, we're going into something that we've never done before, but yet we're excited and, you know, we're ready to go. And I think another thing that has really helped us is just the support from our members. I think, you know, guys, we've got well over 250 members now at last count. And I can literally, in less than one hand, count the number of unhappy people that have said, hey, me, I was scammed, me, I'm not. In fact, I think it's only one. Yeah, one. You know, the other one we sorted out. It's just the one person who was unhappy. But I mean, that's quite an amazing achievement for having such a big Stokvel that there's only one person who says, me, I was sold dreams, what I didn't know what I was saying, and wada. So it really just goes to, and just the support that we get from our members in all ways, it's just been, I think it's made the journey easy. And I think that is why we feel comfortable to move on to this next stage with the group that we got. And if some of you guys who've been there from the beginning, Abotlohe and all those other guys, we always said when you still had that busy WhatsApp group that, you know, we're starting this way now because this is what we can do relatively easy. Then when we are ready to move into a different format of the Stokvel, those who want to journey with us then will join us. So it's always been there from the very beginning. It's not something new. We were just trying to figure out the technicalities. So our journey was, like I said, we started last year in June, and we made our very first investment in Durban, which was a student accommodation in August, shortly thereafter. And we had a target. We've always been about setting targets. We always said, okay, we need to raise a minimum of 100,000 rand a month, and in our first month, we achieved that. And we've always had this dream of reaching 1 million rand a month. It always misses us, just. But I mean, from the very beginning, we had that goal of raising 1 million rand a month. I think 1 million is like a number, but it's an arbitrary number. It could have been anything, but it just was the thing that was going to push us to work hard to make sure that we achieve that goal, And then, so now, so before I started SAKHISIZWE, I was in a different Stokvel with ladies. So when I was speaking to other people, I'd be like, we raised a lot of money, we did so well, we raised 400,000 rand. They'd be like, what? And so now when I say that SAKHISIZWE has raised 6 million rand, it's like, okay, I've added a zero. We've added a zero to the one that I had before, the what I thought was like a big achievement, that we were like a small, intimate Stokvel of just ladies, and we raised 400,000 rand in a year. I felt it was like a big deal. But now, with SAKHISIZWE, we've raised 6 million rand. So the other day, someone was asking me, Slindile, do you guys think you could raise 40 million rand, And I'm like, why not? I didn't even think about it. I didn't even flinch. I was like, yes, we can, because from the first Stokvel that I was in, it was 400,000. SAKHISIZWE is 6 million. It means 60 million, guys, next year. Or ganjani, So we have to move it up a notch. It's doable, So that number doesn't frighten me at all, I definitely think we can do it. We've paid out without fail every single month, all our members. And maybe on few occasions it's been like 1 or 2 days late, and we've communicated to the members in case there were any issues. Where we have made mistakes, we have communicated that, guys, there was a bit of an issue, there's a delay, please bear with us, and our members have understood, But we have without fail for the past 14 months that we've been in existence, paid out without fail to all the members. So because our Stokvel started last year around June, July, we have a 12-month investment cycle. Those people that started with us last year, some of them have chosen to exit. They have gotten paid out, without fail, again, when the investments reach their maturity as agreed, and there hasn't been any issues. And some of them are even here in the room, they can tell you that, So we've invested in over 10 properties. We've done in Durban, here in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, as well as in Pretoria. And at some point we grew, and the admin was starting to get to a lot of us, because myself, Gertrude, and Dima, who's unfortunately not here, are also full-time employed in other industries. So this is like a side hustle or a side gig, So we actually now have Penny as well, who is assisting us. So us as a Stokvel are actually now contributing to the unemployment in the country and upskilling someone who's a youth. Penny is only a matriculant, but she is amazing. She is just like an absolute, I don't know what, if the schooling system produces the likes of Penny, our education is in good hands. So there's a quote from Andy Harrington that says that the easiest way to make a name for yourself is to attack the status quo of what people believe to be true in your industry. And I think that is what we've done. We have shown that, for example, Stokvels are not just about groceries or about burial or about just circulating members, money amongst members. We have shown that it's possible to invest in property without owning it. Some people didn't even know that. They believe that there's only one particular way to invest in property. And we have shown that there is a way that you can make money from property. Banks are making money from property. Essentially, we are like the bank. So if the banks are doing it, why can't we do it? Do you get what I'm saying? There's many ways to skin the cat. So we have challenged that status quo, and we have also made sure that it's possible to actually get like a monthly income from property. Because sometimes people invest, but then there's a shortfall that they need to put in. So we actually make sure that we pay our members monthly. We don't have these long waiting periods where you are saving money, then one day you'll buy a property or whatever the case might be. Our members, start seeing returns on a regular basis from the get-go. So those are just some of the status quo elements that we've had. So, sorry guys, I'm just trying to find a space. Okay, so in terms of our successes, was about just exposing to our members to the possibilities that are available with property. It's been exposing them to the possibilities in terms of themselves becoming property investors in their own right. Like when we have info sessions, we always have guest speakers and other professionals that come on board. We invite them to events, when I'm speaking or whatever the case might be, and I say, guys, come and listen. And from that movement, we've actually inspired even other Stokvels. I mean, Tlogis here, she started a Stokvel based on the SAKHISIZWE model, which is the Masedi education project. So what her Stokvel does is that she's based in Limpopo, right? So they raise money and then they borrow the money to schools who want to grow, but they don't have the money, or the banks are giving them high interest rates. So her and her Stokvel members provide the funds to the school, and the school builds with that money, and then they pay them the monthly returns. It's a similar model to SAKHISIZWE. So I worked with her on that model, so SAKHISIZWE has inspired that. Now when you look at the third money franchise Stokvel, so you've got your Batabiles and Silbucho, they've started a Stokvel where they are buying franchises for cash, so with them as well, I worked with them to say, how can we use, what we've done with SAKHISIZWE, and now they're doing the same thing, but in the franchise industry. So we're changing the narrative, and we're changing how Stokvels are being used to actually buy assets that or asset generating income for the members, So that's where the future of Stokvels are. So that's just what some of our successes have been. And there's been many others, existing members, non-members, who've reached out to me and said, Sindile, help us start a Stokvel. We also want to be like you. And we've had amazing partners like Stokvel that give us free publicity as well. Stokvel, if you go on their website, guys, I don't know how much you would pay to get the traffic, because on the landing page of Stokvel, SAKHISIZWE is there, and then with a link to our website. So that is amazing. They've run paid ads. It's like literally being on like a Stokvel highway. Imagine an M1 of Stokvels, and we have a billboard there. So thank you so much to Stokvel for their amazing support from all angles. I don't think we would have achieved what we have had it not been for their support. And then, so in terms of where we're going, then that's what has happened in the past. And when you feel that you've had certain successes, you get complacent and all those things. And hence, I'm saying I'm nervous because this is something that we haven't yet done. And I'm glad that we've got Thomas here. He's going to be speaking a bit later, who is going to be there to hold our hand. You will notice that we don't want to do it all. Everybody has their place. So you leave it to the person that's good at. For us as the Stokvel members, we raise the money, that's what we're good at. The running of the administration and all of that, we leave it to the professionals who are Stokvel. The funding of the properties and running them and dealing with tenants and maintenance, we leave it to M5, that's their specialty. The legal stuff to make sure that we are coloring within the lines of the law, we leave it to Thomas, he's the expert in that. And that is why then we are able to play well with each other, because each person plays to their own strengths. And that's then the way that we are able to grow, because we are not trying to do it all. So Thomas is going to go into what a trust is, what the benefits are, but what I just wanted us to say, what I wanted to mention is that when we started the Stokvel, we started with what we could. We thought, okay, we want to own and all of that, but we're like, okay, how do we do it? Which entity do we use? Do we register a company, a co-op, a trust, both? Do we have one company, one trust, one company holding one property, many companies, many properties? We're just basically spinning in our heels because we're trying to figure this out. We're like, you know what, check it out. We'll figure that out later. Let's just start with what we can start with. What's the easiest way to start? And that was what we could start with, the whole, they call it angel investing model or the lending model, because it works, other people do it. When you go to networking events and all of those things, you'll find that there are people who've got money who just want to put it somewhere. Instead of sitting in a bank account, they put it in a higher investment. So that's then what was the easiest, because as a Stokvel, there are some things that we can do, but there's some things that we can't do. Like a Stokvel can't own property, for example, but we can enter into certain legal agreements. So that is why that was then the easiest way for us to get started. The trust should have been launched in March, Thomas, if I remember correctly. So we spoke about it beginning of the year that, okay, guys, we feel we found a solution. Let's get going. March, we're going to start the process. And then we all know what happened. Then lockdown happened and sort of the world got basically spun on its head. So the dream has always been there. And I think now we're at the cusp of that. We are ready to go. So why the trust? The trust is going to be the vehicle that is going to own our assets going forward. And us as the members are going to be the beneficiaries. So if you're familiar with companies, think of it as the beneficiaries are almost like the shareholders. And then, so this is what we are going to be as the Stokvel members. And then the trustees are going to be like the directors. So they basically make sure that, you know, the trust is well taken care of, the assets are bought, the bills are paid, the members are paid. All of that is going to happen from an administrative perspective. So the Stokvel and the trust will coexist. The funds will be raised in the Stokvel, and once we've raised the target, we're hoping to look at like, we've been conservative now, but I know you guys are going to surprise us. We're looking at about raising R1 million every 3 to 4 months. Then at least we can get a decent-sized property. So once we've raised the money from the Stokvel, we're then going to then move it over to the trust and then do the necessary paperwork so that everybody knows where they stand and what their share ownership is and all of that. So in the trust, it's going to be myself and Dima from the Stokvel, and from MFAM side, it's going to be Rieta and Taurai. So we're going to have both representatives in the trust. So M5 is still going to continue as a separate entity, and the Stokvel is going to continue as a separate entity. So myself, the current executives are still going to be there, but maybe in the future we could look at having other members take up that seat if they so wish, because now we're going to have that separation of the two entities. The Stokvel stands on its own and the trust stands on its own, and then they just become partners. So essentially that's then how that's going to work. And the reason why, you know, we've chosen a trust, there's a lot of benefits, and Thomas will get into that around, you know, tax, around basically continuation and reduction of your state duties. There's many benefits why we have chosen the trust and why that we felt that that was the best vehicle for us to use going forward. So I think I'm going to stop there, and thank you so much.
I don't know what happened. I put it on flight mode, but there's a little gremlin that reactivated it. Sorry about that. Okay, guys, we're just going to take a 5-minute break. We're just preparing a video for you, so we're just going to be busy with the setup. So just stretch your leg and, yeah, get to know people more, and then we should be back here in 10 minutes. So we'll start at past. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. What is happening? All right. Is everybody back in the room? Yeah, let's just wait for everyone to just come back in. By some miracle, we managed to fix the sound. It's a miracle. Somebody say, I receive. So right now, we know you've been talking about the people who go out and source their properties for development and so forth. So the company is M5 Property Developers. So we're just going to have a brief video to show you the linkage between SAKHISIZWE and how you guys act as the financier and they come in, source out the projects that you guys find yourselves investing in. So sit back, relax, and then DK is just going to take over and show you the video. Thank you.
Go. Boom, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. It is good to have you all around. I'm so glad that you guys have managed to come through to our annual general meeting. However, we sincerely apologize from the bottom of our hearts that we haven't been able to be with you today. If you don't know me, my name is TJ, Taurai Jack, and I just want to introduce everyone else who is part and parcel of working with you in SAKHISIZWE Trust. And I'm going to start with the ladies. And Elise, good morning, good afternoon. How's it going?
Hello, it's always going well, especially if we're part of this team.
Awesome stuff. And that is Elise. And I'm going to jump on to Rita. Rita, how's it going?
Hey, so excited to, well, I can't be there because I'm actually in Cape Town and my husband refuses for me to travel to get into a plane. So otherwise I would have been there because I saw Slee's amazing champagne rack and I was like, I need to be there. I need to celebrate with you guys. But I have a wonderful, wonderful time and just know that I have huge FOMO right now. But I will be watching you guys on the stream.
Awesome stuff. Next to Rita, we're going to go to Bevan. Bevan, how's it going?
Hello, everyone. Yes, we are definitely sad that we're not there with you all today. So you must have as much fun as possible without us. But it is great to be part of this team.
Awesome stuff. And lastly, I'm going to introduce to Hubert.
Hello, guys. Nice not meeting you all in person, but I hope you have a lovely function, and I'm glad to be part of the team. And yeah, I don't know if I have to speak about my role in the company, but all the places you see in the videos and all the renovations and making it from worst and bad to nice, that's my role in the company.
Awesome stuff. So I think you are not new to be joining with us now on SAKHISIZWE, and you've been around for a while, and maybe you might have started off on the other side where you had just been contributing some monies, and that money was going in onto some of the projects and you were earning a return. And we sat down with Lee and we said, how can we make this long term? And this is how actually SAKHISIZWE trust has now been actually constituted, and we now have the trust. Some of you have already been contributing. Thank you very much for believing in the vision, in believing in what we can do long before the trust was even there. So the trust is now there. We understand that there's just over 200,000 that has just been raised right now. And what is the trust all about, and why are we all here? So the trust is about building a legacy where all of you can contribute, and out of the contributions, we can all be owning these properties. Your role is to contribute some monies. Our role is to make sure that we get the properties and they are well managed throughout the life cycle of the business. Having said that, I then want to actually introduce each member within M5 Property Addicts on what is the actual role that they do. And you do have the privilege to be having Daniel with you. And at this time, I'm going to pause so that Daniel can actually present himself and talk about what